real quick, so you're a very brilliant and knowledgeable businessman, and your resume obviously speaks for itself. I just wanted to know if you had any advice for listeners and us in general on certain things that we could do to make our life more successful.
Huh. How much time do we have left?
As much as you'll
We
give
got-
us.
Yeah, we got one more after this. So whatever you.
I'm in no hurry. That was more of a warning than anything.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm not in a hurry. You guys are great.
Thank you.
This could be an entire show, and I don't want it to be because not everybody's interested in hearing what I have to say on this topic. But I think first and foremost, do not be afraid. Don't be afraid to fail. Do not be afraid to embarrass yourself. Don't worry about what other people think. If you're really passionate about your idea, your business, don't pay attention to what anybody says. That's number one. And number two, and this is just for me personally, get in touch with your faith, because none of us are smart enough. None of us, it's a big part of it for me. So let it go at that. Surround yourself with people who you absolutely trust, who will bust your balls. Because if you surround yourself with people that you're not sure you trust, even if you want to, but you're not sure, you haven't been in the trench together, you haven't ducked bullets together.
Yeah.
So you may want to trust people, and they may want you to trust them.
Yeah.
But when you're under pressure, people's weaknesses and flaws really come out, and you need to be sure that you're in the trench with someone that will look out for you as much as they'll look out for themselves. But they will bust your balls and keep you honest. Because if you surround yourself with people that just agree with you and don't challenge you,
Yeah.
you're in a very risky position. And then it's just research. Know your business, know your project, know your market. That's another thing. As it relates to professional wrestling, especially, or any form of entertainment, you have to know who your audience is, the audience you want to have. You have to decide, first and foremost, kind of like I did with Nitro, I can't have teens and preteens, so who's my audience? There's a whole, and by the way, now all anybody talks about is 18 to 49-year-old males. Back then it was all teen and preteen, right? 18 to 49-year-old males, like, we don't need them. We need women and we need kids. That's all of television was built. A lot of television was built for that.
Yeah.
But knowing you have to identify what your audience, who you want your audience to be, and that's driven by advertising. That's a business decision. That's a marketing decision.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't know who your audience is and what they like and how they think and the products they buy, the music they listen to, it's more than demographics, it's psychographics. And that's an actual thing in television. Everybody talks about demos because, guys like Dave Meltzer and other, kind of parasitic wannabe journalists, they read, Advertising Age, or they read Variety, and they pick up some buzzwords and they read a few articles, and before you know it, they're out there convincing everybody they know what they're talking about, and they don't. But if you really sit down and talk to a very successful, astute producer, they'll tell you, man, you've got to know who your audience is, because otherwise you're throwing darts in the dark. You're producing a product that may or may not hit the audience that you think you might want, but you're not sure.
Yeah.
That's one of the issues with AEW. I'll give you an exercise. This is not beating them up. It's just a fact. Look at their TV show tonight. Is it tonight? Is tonight Wednesday or Tuesday?
Yep, today's Wednesday.
Oh, wow. Time flies when you're having fun, bro. I've been having a great couple days. I've got a new project that's going to be announced in about 10 days that I am so excited about. I cannot wait for this. It is a full circle moment in my life.
Oh, well, that's awesome.
I'll let it hang on that. This
Yeah.
is a full circle moment in my life and in my career, and I'm so excited about it.
Well, and early congratulations to you.
Thank you, and I'm going to take it because it's been a haul. Yeah, it's knowing your audience and really understanding who you want to watch your show. But if you, like I said, go back and watch AEW tonight, just look at that crowd. It's 80% male, very few women in there. The crowd will speak for itself. And then look at a WWE crowd. Forget about what's going on in the ring. It doesn't matter in this example. Look at the two crowds and you'll get my point.
Yeah.
That's the problem with Tony. And that's why, I said this 4 years ago, when I first started calling Tony out. For the first year, I was very supportive of Tony and still am. It doesn't sound like I am, but I still really want to see him succeed because it's better for the business if he does. If he fails or just keeps limping along like he is, it kind of gives wrestling a little bit of a bad name, right? In some respects. So I want him to succeed, but the issue is he doesn't know how to produce a show for the audience that he needs. He's producing a show for himself, for his tastes, and unfortunately that audience is continuing to deteriorate. I called it out 4 years ago. I explained why it was, and then I was making a prediction. If they don't do this and this and this, here's what's going to happen. Virtually everything that I've said was going to happen 4 years ago has happened. It's like I had a crystal ball.
Yeah.
So, and maybe that'll change. Maybe Tony will wake up one day and go, you know what, this isn't as much fun as I thought. Maybe there's a better way. And hopefully that'll happen, but I don't see it.